Hello students, I am making this recording about embedding quotations, how to take a quote and embed it into your writing. And I didn't do a whole lot with this other than to remind you of the three different ways that you can embed quotations using Old Man and the Sea by Ernest Hemingway. On page 10 there's a quote that says, "I remember," the old man said, "I know you did not leave me because you doubted." And so let's say that you wanted to incorporate this quote into your literary analysis. Right now you're doing a different literary analysis, but the same principle holds. So there are three different types of embedding that you can do. One is a dialogue quote. That's where you simply say, "Santonio says," or "Santonio tells the boy," and then you have a comma. Now in this case it's from a direct dialogue inside of the actual novella. So if you're doing, if you're just doing some description from the writing, then instead of saying Santiago says, who is a character, you would use the name of the author instead. So you'd say something like Hemingway describes or Hemingway writes. And so you can do that for a dialogue quote. So just showing you that. Then there's the flow quote. This is where you actually use something from the text and it just becomes part of your own language. So you got to remember, you're the one writing this literary analysis. You're not simply taking someone else's words and sticking it in there and saying it's yours. You are using the author's words in your analysis as if they have become your own when you use a flow quote like this. Hemingway emphasizes that Manolin did not leave Santiago because Manolin doubted. You can see that it sounds like it's just your writing, but you incorporate or you embed that quote as if it's flowing right along. Here's another example right here. Santiago knows that it is not because Manolin doubted that he stops joining Santiago in his boat. So again, I'm just using what's actually in the quote and incorporating it or embedding it right into my own language. You'll recall that if you have to change something in the quote to make it flow with your own writing, you put that in brackets, like right here I used the word Manolin, and right here I used the word Santiago, because to make the quote, or to make my sentence make sense, I have to change what's inside of the actual quote. You can do that if it's in brackets. And then finally, a colon quote. This is where you say like a complete sentence, an independent clause, and then you put the colon, and here's the colon right here. Remember, a colon means let me show you. Okay, that's the equivalent of let me show you what I mean by this. So here's the sentence. Santiago wants to comfort the boy by reassuring him that he can see the boy's intention in joining a different boat. Colon, let me show you. I know you did not leave me because you doubted. So what I'm basically doing here is I am saying this quote that follows will help support what was in this independent clause or this sentence right here, and you can see that it does. Okay, and same way down here. Hemingway uses a conversation between Santiago and Manolin to show the boy's confidence in Santiago. Let me show you. Now in this case, I'm also doing a quote within a quote. So if you have like a dialogue, a conversation going on where someone speaks and then you have this, the old man says, or something like that, then you have to put what the person's saying in a single quote. That's what this is. You have a quote there, and that right there, that's a single quote. And then you have the double quote that's basically saying here, all of this is from the story, and the single quote is what the person is actually saying. So if you're confused by that, ask me, clarify. That's why I'm here. Ask me during a zero period, and I can help you with making sure that you get your embedding done correctly. So this is just a reminder. Here are the three different types of embedding of quotes. Ask me if you have any questions, and you should be good.